There was a time when I believed that if I was easygoing with everyone, life would become easier. If a coworker asked me to take on extra work, I said yes. If a friend needed help, I tried to help. If someone crossed my boundary just a little, I told myself, it's okay, don't make things tense. I thought this was how I could be loved. I thought this was what kindness looked like. And maybe, if I never disappointed anyone, no one would leave. But after a while, I began to realize something painful. Not everyone knows how to appreciate your agreeableness. Some people will be grateful, but some people learn very quickly. This person does not say no. This person can take a little more. This person can be pushed further and still stay silent. And when I finally could not keep being easygoing anymore, they did not see me as someone who was protecting myself. They looked at me as if I had changed the rules, as if I was taking back something that had always belonged to them. That was when I understood something. In every relationship, whether it is friendship, love, family, or work, people do not only listen to what we say, they also observe what we allow to keep happening. If we always say, it's okay, when it is not okay, people may slowly start to believe that it really is okay. If we keep taking on more work without saying anything, people may assume we still have room to take on more. If we keep giving without naming our limits, people may begin to treat our giving as something expected. This does not mean everyone is bad. People are not always trying to use us. But people adapt very quickly to the patterns we allow. If our silence makes things easier for someone else, they may begin to rely on that silence more and more. I once had a friend ask to borrow money. In my heart, I knew I could only help with a small amount. But because I felt awkward saying that clearly, I gave a vague answer. I said, let me see what I can do. I thought that sounded soft and considerate, but my vagueness made the other person expect more. And when I only helped with what I could actually afford, they looked disappointed. That was when I realized something. Sometimes people feel upset not because we have limits, but because we do not express those limits early enough. Boundaries are not walls meant to push people away. Boundaries are maps. They tell other people, this is what I can do, this is what I cannot do. This is where I need to be respected. When we do not offer that map, people may wander into places we never wanted them to enter. And when we finally feel hurt, we blame them for not knowing. But many people will not know if we have never clearly said it. I also used to confuse kindness with always giving in. I thought a good person was someone who did not cause trouble, someone who did not refuse, someone who did not disappoint anyone. But the more I lived, the more I realized that someone who always gives in is not necessarily someone who loves more. Sometimes they are simply someone who is too afraid of losing connection, afraid other people will be upset, afraid they will be seen as selfish, afraid people will leave, afraid that one no will make them less lovable. But if a relationship can only survive when we keep abandoning ourselves to maintain it, then it is no longer a healthy connection. It becomes a quiet trade, a trade where we pay with our energy, our peace, and our self-respect. Of course, having boundaries does not mean we always have to be rigid. It does not mean we always have to win. It does not mean every request is a threat. In long-term relationships, trust, softness, and patience still matter deeply. But softness does not mean being unlimited. Trust does not mean letting people repeatedly cross us. And love does not mean losing ourselves just to keep someone else comfortable. Some people never defend their boundaries. They say strong things, but nothing changes. Over time, their words lose weight. Other people turn every relationship into a battle. They always have to win, always have to gain more, always have to prove they cannot be crossed. But that does not create safety either. So the point is not to become harder. It is not to become colder. The point is to become clearer. Clear when we can help. Clear when we cannot. Clear when something makes us uncomfortable. Clear when our kindness is starting to become self-abandonment. I like to think of it this way. Begin with trust. Give people the chance to treat you well. But do not forget your ability to protect yourself. If someone respects your kindness, you can keep opening. But if someone repeatedly takes advantage of it, respond clearly. Not to punish them, not to win, but to show them that closeness with you must also come with respect. This used to be very hard for me. I was afraid people would call me calculating, afraid they would say I had changed, afraid they would say, "You were not like this before." And maybe they were right. Before, I did not know how to protect myself. Before, I thought being liked mattered more than being respected. Before, I believed that if I was agreeable enough, no one would want to hurt me. But the truth is, a good person without principles is often the first person to be used. And a good person with clear boundaries is not less kind. They are simply someone who has learned how to be kind without betraying themselves. The strange thing is, when we have boundaries, we do not necessarily become colder. In fact, we may begin to trust people more calmly, because we know that if someone treats us well, we can open our heart. And if someone takes advantage of our goodness, we can still return to ourselves. Kindness does not mean always being available. Kindness does not mean always saying yes. Kindness does not mean letting people step over us and calling that love. Real kindness can still be soft. It can still trust. It can still give. But it also knows how to say, "This is enough." And sometimes the first no does not make us lose love. It only helps us stop losing ourselves.